Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with episode 33, Talks Machina. We just did the live stream last night. It is Saturday morning. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do episode 34, part 1. I might even jump in to the Patreon exclusive hour. Either way, we got Jester's mother, the Ruby. Ends up we hang out with her for a great portion of the episode, which shocked me. I honestly thought completely different was going to happen. I thought we were going to get a little musical number, and then we were going to have her dip and go entertain her gentleman. The gentleman, we find out, could possibly be Jester's father. I didn't even think about that. Are we going to talk about that in Talks Machina? Let's just jump in, because honestly, I didn't even think about that till just now. I'm thinking we're going to talk about the Ruby, because that was the episode. It's right here, the Ruby and the Sapphire. But I just realized, it just dawned on me, I didn't look at who's here. Does that mean I can't imagine Laura Bailey isn't part of the cast? I didn't see, though. Let's just jump in. You guys want to be way ahead, full unedited episodes of all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube, and I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the hour Patreon exclusive for these shows, this campaign, campaign 2. Dozens of other things. You guys know the deal. Check it out. If not, episode 33, Talks Machina. I feel like I saw Taliesin, but that's all I think I saw, and I'm not even sure if I saw him. I obviously saw Brian. I always see him.
We're back. A couple of crit roll stats for episode 33 from our friends.
I hear Taliesin.
At crit roll stats. That was an at symbol. This is the first episode of campaign 2 to have no crits.
Not a crit to be found.
Nah, it's
There was
Liam.
no
Wait,
combat, right?
did I just
No combat.
Okay.
jinx
Not a lot of
myself? Because I
rolling.
Did
feel like
anyone get
last
any natural
episode we had
20s?
Liam.
Do we know that?
That's
I
a
can't
crit.
remember.
That's a crit?
Yeah, there were no natural 20s.
No natural 20s? Oh
one.
man, I should just quit the show.
Let's pack it up, guys.
Got it wrong.
I
Let's pack
do
it in.
remember that.
Got
There
it
was
wrong.
not.
What kind of
There
an
was
ambassador
also
for
not
Dungeons and Dragons
as many
am I?
rolls. I feel.
Can
like.
I just
Possibly
say that
less rolls than usual last episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel so, just personally, I don't care about anyone else's opinion, sad that Laura could not be here tonight, because I personally, you guys are on your own. I wanted to know what Laura thought about everything that happened on that last episode. We've all been wondering and wondering.
How funny is that?
That's
I'm
I get
actually
it. So
surprised. There had to be a
I share
good
your
reason.
disappointment that I am not Laura Bailey. I look in the mirror
How funny
most
is that?
mornings and have that same disappointment.
I think
Yep.
it's hilarious
suit,
that I
it will
randomly
eventually be
saw
okay.
Taliesin,
I just need one
and
final piece.
Liam is
Yeah.
apologizing
I know.
Got dark.
for not having
We,
Laura here
Laura's not
because of the
feeling well
Jester.
for anybody that missed our
She's sick.
social media
Okay.
announcement and is
See,
wondering
I knew there had to
why
be a reason.
Liam's here.
I love Liam. I mean,
Because
Liam's
Laura's
great.
sick.
I just
think
wanted
her
to
body
know,
was
as
finally like,
most probably did.
take a break.
Whatever.
Take a break.
When you have a kid, you start to
I mean, hey, if you don't feel
biochemically
good,
change
I'd
on
rather
the
her
inside. And both of
get
them,
better
poor
and
Laura
tell
and
us
Travis, are in that
when
like
she's
4-month
well,
period where
then
you
rush
go from
it.
being a working, functional, charming adult into fucking Smeagol. That happens in the first year of parenthood.
Yeah.
They'll recover.
I
in
like that
time.
it's
Yeah, they'll be okay.
his thing is
Yeah.
at the voice.
I too was interested in hearing everything she had to say about all of that stuff.
She had so many good questions.
She did.
So many good questions.
Next time.
Joining us as always, Danny
It's one of those
Carr,
things.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I equally want to know
just
all
like
the good
corner
things that she has
office
to say.
goth.
But I don't
Danny,
want
are
to
you
put
sure
someone
that's
in a
not
position
Elvira?
where
I
they're
know.
like dying.
Who
Like,
knows?
I'll just
Maybe.
tell you how I feel. I just like
A lot of overlap.
feeling like
That's it.
I grew up
garbage.
an Elvira man. I have nothing but love and respect. Yeah.
Not surprised.
we're-
in
I like
slightest.
also,
Nope.
we've said it many times at this
Grew up
point,
in
but the
Elvira.
Danny
Oh,
cam
I
is
know,
great.
yeah,
I like
oh,
that
yeah.
we could shift over to
Middle
the
name
Danny
Cassandra.
cam.
She's great.
Yeah, I found
Yes.
some Elvira themed things in your closet.
Yes, you did. Have you? Oh my God, that fucking. Have you? By the way, have you seen her movie? It's amazing. The
Which
Elvira,
movie?
The Elvira movie.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
one?
Mistress
From
of
the
the
80s,
Dark.
Mistress of the Dark.
What's it
From the
about? Give me
80s?
the elevator pitch.
It's about 90
It's
minutes.
Halloween,
She has to-
guys, or
thank
getting
you.
near
She
it.
has to move to the Midwest.
I
and
watch
recognition
80s
is-
horror every day,
recognition
and
is-
Elvira
Recognition
Mistress of the
is-
Dark was on
So
before.
it's
Like yesterday.
goth and boob jokes. It's great.
Goth and boob
What
jokes.
more do you
Reminds
need?
me
Yeah,
of,
it's the
reminds
best.
me of
It's one of those
our
guilty
technical
pleasure
director
80s.
Chief. His favorite
It's
movie is
not
Barbed Wire
near
with
the top
man.
of what
Pamela
I'd
Anderson.
recommend if you've not
Yeah,
seen
that
80s
happened.
horror.
He talks
But
about
it's
that
good.
movie the
It's
way
good.
we talk about
For a laugh.
Elvira.
Oh, now I feel bad. Thank you.
Hey guys, our next stat, our next crit
It's funny
roll
because
stat.
we say this
If
often,
we go
but
off
they're
the
my
air,
age,
please
so
let me
they-
know so I don't keep talking.
probably grew up with a
There
lot of the
were
same stuff.
16 spells cast this week.
16
What?
I really
spells.
want Cassandra to be on our show, so now I'm like, oh.
Cassandra.
Give it time.
2019.
They probably already said this earlier. But Cassandra is
Another great thing
Elvira,
about our
the real name
community,
of
they're very
Elvira.
forgiving.
She still looks great. I saw
Our
her like
crew, not so
3
much.
years ago. Probably older than my
There
mom,
were
and still
16
looks
spells
amazing.
cast this week. 10 of them
We're jesters.
were disguised self. 6 of those by Jester.
Okay.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Yep.
Like, my
of
mom
the 8
had me in
sending
her early
messages,
20s.
Jester has sent this campaign.
And
Only her
Elvira
last
was
one to
probably
the
my mom's
gentleman
age
was
when
under
I
the
saw it.
25-word limit.
That was the first time. Well, there's a first for everything.
There is.
So 6 times to cast Disguise Self from Jester? Mm-hmm. And 2 messages. Was it 2?
No, it was. Oh God, it was
Might
more
have been
messages. It was
a
like
lot.
3 messages. Or 4.
Because she's
Because she did
She
3
kept
or
having to
4
re-up.
and then did 2.
I know. It was like she kept putting a quarter into
did a lot
the
of
payphone in
messages.
prison
Yeah.
to try
It
to
was at
call out.
least 2 or
Yeah.
3 the first time, and then 2
the
the
thing
second
where you're trying to
time.
send a
It's
telegram
actually
and
more
counting
than
out
a
the
quarter
words.
nowadays, but
Infamous.
we'll let that go.
Famous.
We have
I think she did 3 sending messages the whole
sending
thing. Yeah.
So
Really?
that's 9 spells total so far. Did she do
9?
anything else?
3 the whole.
9.
She definitely.
Quite a few.
8 sending messages
I could
so
be
far in
wrong,
the
but I
campaign.
could have
Only
sworn
her last
earlier
one
she
to the
did
gentleman was
2 or
under the
3 of
25 word limit.
Correct.
in the beginning.
Yeah. Disguise Self was big this week.
Disguise
Yeah,
self,
we're a
because she had to
bunch of
keep doing it.
liars.
You guys were telling me in the live stream
Sometimes,
every hour.
My whole thought was
she has to
sometimes you don't want to be
recast.
the guy who's like 9 feet tall in the theater. It felt like the polite thing to do. It was less about being worried about causing attention. It was more like, and literally this, my character was like, oh, people are going to want to
Jester's
see
here
this
in
show. I
spirit,
should get short.
hugging.
That was
I
I
literally
wore my
his
Jester
process.
shirt.
I agree. I
This
thought,
was
like,
planned.
being a tall
I
guy in
wore it
the
in the
theater.
live
This
stream.
place is clearly
It is
going
the
to have a
next
no
day,
shirts,
and I'm
no
like,
shoes, no
I
service
gotta wear the Jester
policy,
shirt again.
and I am
I only wore
threadbare,
it
so
for
like
the
I didn't
live
need
stream,
to
so it is still
disguise.
clean
Caleb didn't need to
and
disguise himself,
smelling
but
fresh.
he does look like shit. So
Yeah.
he just changed his clothes.
Was there
I
a lot?
literally
I
put
didn't
it
get as
on
much
right before
chance
the
to
live
look
stream,
through.
and
I
then
didn't get a
take it
chance to look
off
through
and
as
put
much
on
of the
my-
art as
I
I
have,
usually
like,
do on the
sleeveless
weekends.
shirts
Was
I
there a
wear
lot
around the
of
house that
cleaned
are
up
real baggy.
Caleb
Well, there
art?
was some naked
said
art
comfy.
because
Yeah,
he
but
went
that's the
skinny
stuff.
dipping.
That's the stuff I do make time for.
I just remember 1. I only remember
He makes time for
1 or 2
naked
this time.
Caleb art.
It's not an exact science.
I wonder if how many times he'll find occasion to. I wonder if he'll. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the idea of Caleb being
Of
cleaned
Caleb
up, or
being
did
clean?
it feel?
I mean, Caleb's state of cleanliness or dirtiness is Laura Bailey's call, not mine, so I don't really have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I bet she's got one at home right now. Okay, our first question of the night
She's
from
got an opinion right
our
now.
lovely community.
This is our
comes
first
from
question. We are 10
Shay
minutes in,
Excited.
and we
Shay
just got the
Tane?
first question.
Tane.
But hey, we were having a good time. I like
It's
it.
Shatane. Shatane.
Shatane.
Shanae asks,
Shanae.
what were your characters' feelings, both of you, and thoughts when going to the
I
ocean?
think it's Shatane. Shatane? I bet you it's Shatane.
can.
You start.
When he
You're
said
on the edge of
Shanae.
the couch. I mean, the couch has 2 edges, but you're on one of them.
Yes, dear.
You were the edgelord tonight.
Well, Caleb's feelings about the ocean are wrapped up into the fact that he is out of the Empire for the first time ever, so he's experimenting with feeling a little more at ease than he typically does. That changed as soon as they got into town because he wasn't expecting to see Crown's Guard dotting the streets, but until that moment, he was like, okay, I'm not, or we're out of the danger zone somewhat. I guess it's possible that people I don't want to run into could be here, but highly unlikely. So he started to relax. And then the ocean was that, but even beyond that, which is that something that he's not a one-note caricature. He has a lot of different conflicting feelings, and to see the ocean for the first time ever in your life, or even a giant body of water, I don't think that Caleb's seen anything like that. So
I had
it was
friends
just a rare moment where all the things that weigh on
that
him
have
pretty
never seen
heavily
the ocean, that have
could kind of
come
recede for a
to
bit.
Jersey
he
to
could
visit me.
allow himself something good for once.
They're-
moment of respite.
Like, I gotta go see
Was
the
it
ocean.
Jester
and I
who
feel like
said
when they
it's
finally
like
do,
fire,
they're like,
but the opposite?
Yes.
Was that? Oh yeah. That
I
was
feel
great.
like most of
She
the
was
time they're
really-
not
she was doing really great this
that blown
episode.
away
She
by
was.
it because
She had a really great episode.
you see videos and pictures.
She'll be
and
missed
stuff.
on this
But
show.
there,
Sadly, we
they
can't
don't
invite
have
anyone
that
back who
luxury.
cancels.
Replacement will be real good though.
Yes.
Like if
Yeah.
you haven't seen the ocean,
Can you just hold the
you've
Jester
never
all the whole
seen
time?
it.
So we
Yeah,
can just
please
kinda, like,
give
she's
us a
here.
little
Oh,
gesture.
no.
love.
Yes, hello.
I mean, people could paint and stuff.
Your thoughts about the ocean from Caduceus's perspective?
I'll say, like, I didn't actually see snowfall like appropriately until I was a teenager, and I remember very specifically when I went and saw.
Angelino.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
live in LA. Like, if there is any snow, it happens while you're asleep, and it's a half.
Oh, he's saying in real
and then it's
life.
gone. So like the first time like that actually happened, where I woke up in the morning and there was snow
thought he meant his
coming down
character.
from the sky, was an intense experience. And I was like 14 at the time, so
Wow.
That's cool.
I was like, wow. And he's.
See,
Yeah,
I
I mean, for
experienced
somebody
living
who
in
spends,
Jersey.
who's spent
You
an
experience
awful lot
everything.
of their life in
a year.
the place of thinking
Rain,
very, very hard
snow,
about
ocean,
how large the universe is
like,
and his
everything
place within
happens
it.
here.
To be confronted with absolute proof of that was definitely a wonderful feeling. He is going to be on a delighted high for quite a while. They'll be hard pressed to get him away from the ocean for a while. He's
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, on a past. Hang on a second, Brian.
Please.
On a past episode, when Sam and I were here together last, we talked about how much we tend to think about this stuff when we're not here.
Yeah,
So-
that
so
was a
Tumblr
question.
told me,
I
yes.
remember.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, carry on.
Okay, but
Do we all go on Tumblr and look at all this? I fucking
Yes.
love Tumblr.
Well,
I don't.
Tumblr's the place I go to feel good.
topic entirely.
I go
It
for
is.
comic
Is
book
Tumblr
art
even a
really
thing
almost
anymore?
exclusively, but yeah.
I don't
I
hear
go
people
for the
talk
real
about
dirty,
Tumblr
sexy stuff.
ever
I,
anymore.
I can't be. Danny, do you?
Lots and lots
have
of
a social
reasons.
life.
I go primarily for art. My experience of Tumblr is like art.
I remember
Giant
hearing all
penis!
about it
Art.
years and
Art.
years ago.
That person hates me. Art. Oh, that's
Like
nice. Art.
You're a high school girl there.
As I'm scrolling and collecting art, as I'm scrolling through and collecting art, I occasionally get a bizarre detail because your eyes just take in what they take.
Yeah. But you guys were saying last time you were on the show.
Wonderland.
You were saying last week.
Oh, just how much Sam and I, and I'm sure we're not the only ones, think about this stuff. And I've literally been thinking about like my alter ego self seeing the ocean for the first time and what that irrationally meant to him. Like there's no like, oh, this means this and this. He had nothing like that, but just how
I specifically remember one friend
how much it affected him.
made a big deal out
that
of
guy
it,
killed
and then
doesn't
literally
exist.
got there and was like,
I mean,
like
yes, he
almost
does.
like
He exists
unimpressed,
right here.
almost like
I
he was
know,
so
I
hyped
know.
up.
I get that.
that
I
they,
get
like,
the notion of these metataxual.
were, like,
metatextual
let down.
I with this.
I think if you've
I'm
seen
a convert. You're preaching to the choir, but
movies and
Liam, next
video
you're gonna
and
tell me that
pictures,
that
it's
doesn't
not
exist. Have you
read or-
as mind-blowing a
Just don't
thing.
do that.
It
But
doesn't
for them,
anymore,
it makes
Dan.
sense.
Signal to noise.
I'm kidding. That's not
breaking
nothing like
Danny.
that.
what's
happened.
signal to noise?
I feel like
Noise
the
is-
snow
it's
thing,
Neil-
like Tal's
Neil
was saying, the
Gaiman
first
book,
time
I
he
believe,
felt
and
snow,
it's
like
all about
that's different because
novel.
literally it's
I'll
coming
find
down
it for
from
you.
the
It's
sky.
all about fictional people.
I feel like
and
that's
how
more
they exist
crazy
inside
than
River's head. It's quite nice.
body
that
of water.
kind of feels like required reading at this
it's
point.
really good. It's also a really good radio play. It might just be a radio play. I'll have to look it up.
Either way.
Right now, the chat is telling me what I'm.
Is it on Audible?
Probably.
Twitter, tell me in an hour and a half.
Perfect.
Cool.
And
They're on a 30
Like if you
second
never
delay,
saw
so an
snow
hour and
until you
29
were
minutes and
14,
30
and then you
seconds.
were in like a bad snowstorm.
Twitter
I've
will
been
know.
in some bad snowstorms,
Liam,
but
sort
throughout
of
my
a
whole
follow-up
life,
to that
it snows really
previous
bad
question
all
about
the
the
time
ocean
here.
from random
Every year we get, like, a bad
answers
snowfall.
for random questions.
But if you lived your whole
the
life,
vast infinity of the dodecahedron
freaky, I feel
scared Caleb, but the vast infinity of the ocean comforted him. Is this because he was used to it after studying the beacon for so long, or is there another reason?
We made connections to it.
Yeah, I definitely think that the beacon helped him process that in advance because he'd been landlocked his whole life and none of them have experienced what the dodecahedron offers a glimpse into. So I think the ocean might have been more of a freak out. Maybe he wouldn't have gone in if he hadn't seen multiple versions of himself all in a row. I don't know that he found it comforting. I think he.
Not
This is such an acid trip thing. I think that he was like
to
interfacing with
it?
existence and again confirming to himself that the universe is wide and vast and complicated and there is a hidden logic to it all that if you
I love his answer.
search for
That
it,
is
you
some-
maybe can find. It was just like seeing his heart's desire splayed into an abstract form in front of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
That's a
just like
beautiful sentiment,
the
though.
three of
I
us
was like,
looking at the
damn.
ocean. Anyone
For
looking
someone
at
that
the
just
ocean.
spitballed off the
is-
top of their head, that was pretty
It's a
deep.
place for reflection. It's a
Yeah.
place of sort of being in wonder of the chemistry of
I
nature.
really, that was a good
It's
answer.
fully, in the full sense of the word, awe-inspiring because we are so little.
Yeah.
We are so insignificant in the face of the universe.
Douglas Adams, you see, it's the place where three elements, it's the sky, the earth, and the water all meet. It's this place of perfect junction.
My dad used to tell me a little, vignette about the footprints on the beach. Have you guys ever heard that one about, when there was only one set of footprints? It was because we left you in the car.
Really looking for that was. was looking forward to that walk.
Taliesin.
Wait. One last.
I literally thought
pseudo-serious
Brian
thought on
was
that.
going
And
somewhere
that is,
like
I
deep
remember going to the
with them.
beach as a
And then
kid and seeing
Brian.
the ocean. And at that age, I think before my brain had time to mature and reflect on things, it was all about just like jumping in the waves and exploring and being like a young animal on planet Earth. But now when I take my own kids to the ocean, like they're doing what I did when I was 6 and 7, going, come on, Dad, jump in the water, jump in the water. And my mind is just expanding, and I just go glassy-eyed and stare because it's so big.
I have a photograph that I need to find. It was several years ago at Travis's birthday party that we did at the beach where we got arrested by the cops for.
You're just
drinking
going to come out and say it?
Yeah, I mean, that happened.
I was going to hint at it.
But
You're
your kids
just
were
gonna
there.
come right out.
Yep.
And Liam,
Your kids were there.
best dad ever, goes out into the water and covers himself with all of these strings of kelp or whatever and seaweed and all this stuff. And he comes out of his kids are standing there, he comes out of the water, like the sea monster, and chasing them, and they were just laughing hysterically, and all of us are sitting there just like, what a great dad. You looked, I have a picture of you coming out of the water with all this stuff. I'll try and find it.
A
And
lot of good memories from that day. That, you getting arrested, everyone, not arrested.
we got
Fine.
cited.
I was gonna
Actually got
say
attacked by a
they
large
who would
flying
arrest a
bug
group
that
of people
day.
with children.
Really, it was the police, though. It was
The police.
I've
The
legitimately
Baywatch
gotten
Nights
arrested
police
from
on
a
the,
park for
yeah,
drinking.
speaking of people's
That's
favorite
why I was
shows,
like, oh my
Matt
god, that's
Shinga,
funny. We
Baywatch
all
Nights.
went and got wasted and were playing
Taliesin.
Manhunt in the nude.
CD88.
People got
That's the
arrested.
question.
I was the only one
It's
of
been a
like
few
two
weeks
to
since
get
the
away,
Mighty Nine joined
but
up with
later on,
Caduceus. Wait,
we got in
clarify
trouble.
something for me, because when you first said, you said it's Caduceus, but then Thursday night you said Caduceus.
I was tired.
Okay.
It's Pajor.
So we want
Caduceus.
a Caduceus. Okay.
Yeah, however it's spelled is the correct way.
I understand.
I occasionally roll in really tired.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I didn't
Ask
learn
more
how to spell
about
my
that
own name until I was
story
like
in the
9.
live
It's
stream if
bad.
you
I still have
if you'd
trouble
like.
spelling your name.
There's a long tail.
It's been a few weeks, Taliesin, since the Mighty Nine joined up with Caduceus. How does he feel about his traveling companions? Is there anyone he's particularly fond of?
Not.
I wouldn't say. I don't know if I would say he's particular.
I feel like
he's
not
fond of all of them.
would
He
be
thinks
the
they're
most
great. He really
intriguing.
likes them. I mean, he doesn't have an awful lot of people to compare them to.
That's
The
true.
list of people he's interacted with in his life is short. It's a list I'm making right now, so Matt doesn't kill me. But I think he really likes Jester. I think he gets Jester.
Damn
I think
it.
I
that
feel,
was
he
my
feels
first
like he
pick,
really
but I
gets
didn't want to jump
Jester.
the gun. I was like, because Jester's sitting next to him, I don't want to assume, but it felt like either Jester or not.
I would say if he had to pick one, that would be the one that he so far is
Damn
just
it, I should have
because
went with my first. Now I lost.
I think he
the
feels
game
that
of
she's
my
the
own.
easiest book to read at this point. Although
See, I
he's
thought-
got
I think-
deep opinions on all of them.
I think not is
I
more
feel like
intriguing
Caduceus is such a tough
to Caduceus, just
read,
based on what I
so
was
tough to understand.
thinking.
Yeah.
But Jester and him
He's not tough to
interact
understand.
often.
Well, then maybe Caleb is trying to overcomplicate what he is.
I could give you my like quick rundown of like, it's if it's the dude and Alan Watts had a baby, and left him in the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who
Caleb
the
doesn't
first
know
one.
any of
Who,
that.
I don't know. I know the dude. Who's Alan Watts? I gotta look it up.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, like I
need to
feel like
know.
I'm really proud of everything that
Alan
happened in the lighthouse. I felt the lighthouse was like the most
Watts.
Caduceus I could
That
probably help
seemed
for.
like an interesting insight into his personality.
No, he's just he knows what he knows, and he doesn't know a
Show me
lot. He knows he
Alan
doesn't know a
Watts.
lot, but knows that doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
That's a
Yeah.
wonderful statement. Liam,
Your
go.
name is spelled Taliesin. So ta, like you're Irish going ta, lie,
Taliesin.
sin, double duh.
Yeah,
Got it.
Taliesin.
makes sense.
Got it.
We now know the letters that are in Taliesin's name. Never mind. Liam.
Yes.
Distracts people from the fact I don't know what I'm
Okay, here it
saying
is.
with an
English
answer to this
writer,
question
speaker,
from
and philanthropist.
Chaotic Rogue.
Or philosophical.
You said,
It me.
you said Caleb had some thoughts about
I'm reading a
Jester's
different thing.
household
That's
from
why I
what
like
she told him.
philosophical,
Have those
la, la,
thoughts
la. It
changed
was like a
now
long- it
that
was-
he's met the Ruby?
Too early to say.
Okay.
A lot of people have tweeted me about this too. I don't think Caleb assumed that Jester's mom was evil. It just didn't sound like a great childhood. My parents split Liam when I was 5.
Yeah.
And I immediately began seeing my dad a lot less than I wish I did. I love my dad, have a great relationship with him. But when I was a kid, like, I wanted more, right? Doesn't mean my dad was evil. It just meant that I wished I saw my dad more when I was a kid.
Yeah.
On the weekdays, school days. So she seemed very charming and beguiling, and it made sense why she was such a renowned character in the realm. But it's, I mean, everything that Jester talks about still doesn't sound great. Caleb, I think, still feels.
I mean, I feel like her
on
mom's a
some
great
level sad
person,
that she
but
had to go
growing
through
up
that.
like that's
Yeah.
weird.
To have that kind of experience.
I made comments during the
Nobody's
live
evil.
stream.
It's just life is life and hard. And it seemed he liked
I mean, you
seeing
do what
that,
you gotta
that
do.
Jester's
It's
mother
the life
obviously
of
loves
a
her very
courtesan.
much, and still is like, I wish that you had gotten more of her.
Interesting.
That's all. It's pretty simple.
But
Yeah.
yeah, her mom seemed pretty awesome. I
interesting-
mean, hey, it is what it is.
Thought. I
It's
love
also
hearing
a
your
way
perspective
different
because
world. It isn't like
Caleb's thoughts
right now. Her
towards
mom's
other
out
people
there
are always
like,
so much more
sleeping with dudes on the
kind
corner or something. It's like a
than the
different
thoughts he has
world.
about himself. And we've
It's
talked about
like
that on the show.
A job, like a
And
legitimate
I know that
job.
it's part of the arc of that character, but it's always interesting to hear your perspective about his thoughts on everyone else. And
Something I think I've become cognizant as we've sat in these skins since the start of this campaign is Caleb is often thinking,
I smoked a lot of that.
this
new
would
weed
be
right before, so
what
I'm
life
like,
was like
I feel good.
if I wasn't
I have
terrible.
no alcohol.
Like if I didn't have the weight that's on my shoulders, I could fully engage with this, or I could commiserate, or I could try to comfort Jester, or I could enjoy the beach fully. Oh, but that's not what my life is like. I'm terrible.
wow.
So like it's constantly.
Except, of course, that's exactly what his life is like.
Exactly.
That's what he's actually experiencing, but he's not ready for
right,
that.
but
Yeah.
he's living.
He
the
ain't there
past.
yet.
He's
Yeah.
living in the past.
Yeah.
He's not there. Maybe he'll get there.
Maybe he'll get there.
He better get there.
Yeah, he's
How
able to
dare
be
you.
somewhere,
Well,
but still
I
not
can't
be
say
fully
that.
present.
God forbid something
because-
happens. He might not
Yeah,
get there.
it's
Molly
getting to
never
know the
got
Nine
there.
as much as he has. He's like right up
Unintentionally.
there, and the glass is still there. But it's like this is just like real life, but the glass is still there.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Liam's
My
got a
man,
good way of
Marvin
intriguingly describing things.
AKA Meatloaf, says objects in the rearview mirror may appear closer than they are. It's a great song if you have 20 minutes. Taliesin, Cyberwolf 1201 asks,
Meatloaf songs usually are 10 or 20 minutes.
What
no, they're
does-
on average like 10 minutes.
hey, and
little
a
under 10
great
minutes.
music video directed by Michael Bay. I'm just saying.
Really?
Michael Bay got to start directing Meatloaf music videos,
I had to have seen
and
this.
that's not a joke. I love Meatloaf.
I
Anyways,
love a lot of Meatloaf as well.
Taliesin.
Food and the guy who passed away recently.
Stop whatever you're
right?
about to
Didn't he
say,
pass
'cause
away,
it'll
like,
insult
the
me.
last
I'm not
couple
going any
years?
further.
For
won't do that.
Christmas, like 7 years ago, Laura Bailey got me a guitar string bracelet. It's an actual guitar string that Meatloaf played on a tour, and she bought it on this charity thing, and she gave it to me. That's someone who knows me and loves me. I know she's watching, making up for the things I said earlier. Taliesin, what does Caduceus think of Bo's and Jester's pets? Does he intend to help train and befriend the pets, or is he fine letting the owners do whatever it is they're doing?
I don't think he understands the entire nature of that relationship and what it entails.
Like a
I
pet?
don't
And
think,
the relationship between them and the pets.
yeah, like I don't think it's really occurred to him what that relationship is. I think he just is now aware that we have an owl and a ferret and a dog hanging out with us.
Okay.
I think if we got another person in the party, he would have the same like, cool, another.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think he's really absorbed the hierarchy issue.
That
there.
would make sense.
Especially since
Why
again,
would you think
you live in
people
the
would
woods
have
long enough.
pets?
He's has relationships with animals all the time. So
I was
this is
gonna say,
now.
was he not exposed to animals in the, in
But
the
they're
graveyard?
probably not,
Well,
like,
and also,
cemetery?
and like he can communicate with them.
I feel like
he's used to
Caduceus,
communicating
like,
with any
sees
living
them,
thing, and
hello,
this is just three new
squirrel,
living
and
things
you
to
go on your
communicate
way.
with.
Yeah.
He doesn't take the squirrel
Yeah,
inside.
they're with us now.
Give it a
That's cool.
shirt.
I'm just
and a
imagining
cup of
Caduceus
tea,
like giving the
or maybe
owl a
he doesn't.
knife, like y'all
Yeah.
gave to Kiri, and just like, go. When is your initiative?
Yeah,
Or
like-
something like
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely and I think he likes the owl best so far.
If someone ever took
Oh,
the
the
owl
owl.
or the owl,
It sounded like he said owl
yeah.
best.
If someone ever took the owl
Likes
or
the
the
owl
owl flew
best.
away, you know, I feel like Caduceus would be like, that owl really tied the group together.
heart and soul of the party,
Man.
Professor
The
Thaddeus.
owl.
Some new shit. is-
Professor
You're not privy to
Thaddeus,
this
the
new
owl,
shit,
is
man.
my favorite of the three. I mean,
for
they're all
both
cool
of
in their
you.
own way.
Cheesy
But I'm more of
puffer. I love
Owl's
that
one of
name
my
because it makes me
favorite
think
little
of
critters.
cheesy puffs, the things I eat
I
before
would
I
buy
talk
an
shit to
owl. I would
people
actually have an
online.
owl.
Both of you, what do your characters think about Jester's possible relationship with the gentleman?
So we're gonna hear
Like our characters or us?
both.
What do your characters think
My
about?
character doesn't understand what any of that.
Because
Yeah,
again,
so
a
then what does
hierarchy that he
Taliesin
may
think?
not be.
He doesn't. He's kind of cognizant that maybe. Like,
I wanna
don't
know
think
what
he
they
really
personally
entirely
think.
understands the gravity of it.
Yeah.
Cheesy puffer.
That's cool, man. You get to know your dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty soon to understand what the fallout of that's going to be.
So
if it
excited.
even
I
is.
think Caleb thinks that all of the 9, except for Jester, are kind of fucked up.
See the
and
fact that
kind
they're
of,
that they continue to make it.
problematic
I
in
mean,
their own
no,
ways,
that
and
is a
now
good question. I
Jester
don't
is
know.
one of us, more so even. No, I mean, she was one of the
I'm
9.
trying to
for sure,
deduce
but,
if they're giving
like, that's-
clues to whether or not the
That's
gentleman
complicated.
is
Yeah.
That's
her
complicated.
father.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, he's just of the opinion that's probably great.
Now let them answer
he
as
has a pretty
people. I want them to
positive
answer as
relationship with his
people.
family. Family's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't have a lot of complicated thoughts on the.
I want to
subject.
know if they
Okay.
It's
personally
either
think.
really bad or will come with real
I'm excited.
connections, really good connections.
excited.
Caleb thinks.
Yeah.
How old is Caduceus?
100 years old.
In like in
25
theoretical terms or in actual years.
Yeah, both of those things.
I
25
believe 50, if I
Oh.
recall, is what we agreed on. 50-ish. He doesn't really know, but he's definitely like early 20s.
Early 20s for
both.
aging
Early 20s
process,
for
right,
both.
in dog years.
But
You
like,
guys correct me.
Also but he's literally grown up in a monastery, so there's
You guys
not,
told
like,
me
it's not
equivalent
really,
to almost 100
His early
years.
20s
He's
is
saying
not
50.
necessarily
I think
somebody
he's
else's
wrong.
early 20s.
Sure.
Kinda
But
like
I
your
know
early
he's like
20s.
looking
my
like
early
a
20s
25-year-old.
to
That I
favor.
knew.
World will not survive.
You guys
other
have told me
people's.
several times.
Well,
roughly 100.
we're gonna give
4
away some free shit
times.
real fast.
Fresh it.
So I think
have some fresh
Taliesin
shit.
did say
Our first
he didn't
giveaway
act
tonight is honoring your
too
epic
sure.
gift-making skills. It's time for gift
GIF of the week.
GIF of the week. GIF of the week.
GIF
I'm
of the
clapping.
week.
Our winner for episode 33 of Campaign 2 was sent in
What
by
wins this
Robin Griffin.
Robin Griffin. What do we
at
get?
Rabology. Let's take a look. This one's
He has
fantastic.
told me twice. That he wishes. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Understood. That was at the end.
Play it again. Let's see it again.
Great servant beneath the city. Understood. That was, I remember, if go look at the live stream. When that happened, I immediately was like, well,
fuckery.
hopefully he didn't do that in character.
Again.
Because immediately,
Tears
if he
breath away
started
from
just
each
going
other.
like this, people would immediately be like,
Congrats
what do
to
you
you,
know,
Robin. You
sir?
have won this CR Retro T. Boom, da doom, dim,
CR
dim, da doom, dim. Softest
Retro
clothes in the
T.
world. Sorry, Steve. I thought you went over there. I'll never do that again.
Brian, on the screen, your eyes
Are so blue.
Dune levels of
Yeah.
blue on the screen. Are you spicing?
Spicing? You look like you've been
Levels of
spicing. You tell us
One
if
of
you
my
were
friends
Now,
recently
I'm
had a
not
baby.
familiar
I've
with
mentioned
a
her
lot
before
of
in the
different
chat.
types of narcotics.
I just saw a picture of her
Is
baby
spice
yesterday.
the synthetic
The
marijuana
bluest
that's
eyes
most
ever.
prevalent in New
Crazy
Mexico and El
blue.
Paso right now?
Have you ever stuck your finger in a Gom Jabbar?
In a Gom Jabbar?
Yeah.
I
It's different than Eldebarge.
feel like I would remember. I did have some dates with some
Eldebarge.
Gom Jabars. Max,
Didn't get to third base.
change your clothes.
DeBarge from The Last Dragon.
It's not that he smells, he reeks. Our next question,
Brian Foster.
I'm kidding. I can't smell him from this far away. Liam,
Throw something at him.
We're all
It's not that he smells.
saucy tonight.
oh, that shirt has increased in value because Max used it as a hostile gesture.
Jester.
Hostile gesture. We'll get to
Hostile
later in the
gesture.
A hostile gesture.
Liam,
Yes.
I have to keep looking over my shoulder now because I'm expecting.
Brian
sad
treats
Cypress.
Max like two kids in high
we don't
school
like
that
our
are
trees to be
friends, where
sad.
one just
Caleb
constantly
is being very
pushes the
specifically
limits
protective
to the
of
point of
Jester
frustration
on this
for the
leg of
other person.
journey.
I love it.
Looking out for her and watching her
I had a
closely.
friend that used to do that
Can
to
you
me.
talk about what's motivating
But I
that?
didn't egg him on like Brian. He was just annoying.
Part of it is that they're
Noticed that a little bit, yeah.
Sure. Part of it's that they're out of the Empire right now, and that Sauron eye feels a little more distant, so he's able to try to befriend these people. I feel like guy, it's rough with Caduceus because you've just joined, but I feel like in this last episode, he was able to find a moment with Ford to try to reestablish friendship again. Bo and Caleb had kind of a bump in the road in comparison to past weeks.
I've said this many times, but the lighting on
there's
Trinket
no
is
question
great.
that like the thing that made Caleb apprehensive about Jester upon first meeting her, which is like, sure, she's funny and a big personality. She needs a big couch because she's a big personality, is also great. I mean, if like you have no problems and you're not running from terrible things and you're not weighed down by your past, like Jester would be great to hang out with, and it's related to my past answers, which is like it would be so good to be like close friends with you and have fun with you if I didn't have to also consider leaving you to die if the situation calls for it.
Yeah. There's only so far you can go with the person if you have that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a lot of person to have with you too. Like,
Yes,
it's
it
a great,
is.
yeah, it's not always the same friend you want to go drinking with as you want to run from the cops with.
Jester is like a Christopher Durang character.
Very true.
Playwright.
Very true.
Yeah.
I
She is a
literally
lot
had
of
this talk the other
personality,
day
and
about the friends you want to
with
party
many
with,
things like the
and the
ocean, like
friends
with
you
many
start
things, he's
businesses
constantly
with,
like,
and
we shouldn't have to worry
trust
about
in
everything
certain
else, but I do.
circumstances.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be with her. She's fun to be around.
Can still enjoy those moments.
Yeah, and I think like he sees chances to help people. He's irredeemable, and he can't go all the way and do everything for other people. But he'd like to be helpful if he can. He can only go so far because from his point of view, he's got things that he's going to do. But if he can do things that are helpful to people, and he's done it before, if he can do things that are helpful to people that are easy and don't break his game, he wants to do those things.
In his mind, he's irredeemable.
Yeah.
That's
different than Liam's mind.
I
but in
totally
Caleb's
understand that,
mind-
and that's my next question: is do you guys believe that any characters are irredeemable?
I've already tried. I failed. I don't know.
You failed hard.
I failed
You
hard.
failed pretty hard.
I attempted to play that
would
game
say
and failed.
no.
Why?
I would say
Because
I would
you-
say yes. Everyone
Why?
is.
I tried
Wait,
to be
no.
an irredeemable character who was, other
I
than
would
like
say
just
that
creating an outright caricature. I mean,
nobody
like
is
anybody can make a
irredeemable.
caricature. You can make,
Technically.
you know, Mr. Kicks dogs. You know, you can just walk around and kick. You
Mr.
can make
McKick's
something that's not real and is just kind of a bullshit exercise in the notion of it's what is it? It's the evil giraffe. It's
Yeah.
just I'm going to eat all these leaves. You know, and you can make a big mustache twirling villain,
What is
but I'm sure
that?
that's not irredeemable.
Is that
That's not a
for-
real
I don't know what
person.
that
though.
reference is.
There aren't. I've met some really shitty people, and none of them are evil giraffes.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler was not an evil giraffe. I mean, I don't know the answer to this question, and I wonder, like, if you put Adolf at the center of its own story, like, if you got to know what the things that he was afraid of and was trying to do, like, could you not
I don't know if I'd
excuse
go
what he
that
did? Because
direction.
no one can excuse what he did, but can you, like, feel bad for the sad wretch of a shit that he was? I don't know.
Pity is easy, but I think if a character's as long
Look
as you have a
at
character who's
Brian
trying
looked
to
at the
move
camera.
towards something,
I feel like we
which
have
is the
gone into
point
the
of a game
discussion
like
of
a
whether
character
or
like
not
these.
Adolf
Right.
Hitler.
It's like I don't know if you can make
Well,
a character who's
he
going to
said it
move in
was.
that direction. I mean, like I wouldn't know how to make a character who's moving towards redemption, who on
I
some
get what
level
Liam
can't
is
be
trying to
redeemed
say.
just by the act of
Isn't
moving
an
in that direction.
irredeemable character sort of boring? Isn't it one-dimensional?
I mean, they're
in
fun
my
for
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
much.
I mean,
if you're
it-
irredeemable,
because
then
pure-
you
pure
have always
evil,
a shred of
Pete's
hope.
Dragon.
I
Okay,
feel
great
like.
example.
Or
Pure
doubt.
evil is without any hope for redemption. In my mind, unrelatable, and what makes a good villain is
The hope.
having at least an understanding. You don't have to agree with their point of view. Thanos in Infinity
Exactly,
War
that's
spoilers
what Liam was
is
trying
a
to say.
great example
Hitler
of that, where you
thought
go like,
what he
I
was doing was
kinda see what
a
he's
good
talking
thing,
about. It's
kind of, or
totally
something. Like,
fucked up.
If you want to go
theater
deep
nerd, but
into
Aaron
it,
in Titus Andronicus.
it's like one of
Okay,
those
yeah.
things.
Another great
is
example.
Literally,
So I get what
mean,
Liam's
like,
trying to say.
Shakespeare's original, I've done thy mother.
Yeah.
Is utterly irredeemed. I mean, like he only has one redeemable act in the entire play, which is I'll confess if you spare my son. That is like and everything else he does in the play for the entire time is literally just like, oh look, a puppy. let's kill it.
Yeah.
Like every fucking thing.
But he had one moment.
I don't know. I mean, I
So
definitely
something
intended
was
for,
important enough
for
to
Caleb,
him that
if we
he was
make it more specific again,
looking for redemption.
to have the chance for some kind of redemption. I don't know what I want what his story is going to be, but I knew that I wouldn't want to play him, and I don't think people would want to watch him if he didn't have the ability to step into the light or live with what
Makes
he
it more
did
interesting, I
or
agree.
succeed in his harebrained
I want him to get better,
idea
but
that he
yes,
has, because
the way
that's
it's
a really
progressing is
roundabout,
alright.
crazy way to try to clean his slate.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to play a one-note character.
I don't think you're capable of it.
I'm enjoying.
That was a compliment.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this story, but I think it's very possible that he could get like 99 out of 100 steps of the way to getting redemption and then fucking it up at the very last second. And I want that open.
Yeah.
Because I love the uncertainty,
dig that.
the uncertainty of it.
And, like,
And
there's
it
such a
makes it
thing as
exciting.
As an evil
It's
campaign,
something to
which
look
is the
forward
thing
to.
that-
Does he
and
get
and
there?
is fun and can
Does
work, and
he
is definitely
almost
thing,
get
but
there and
I mean, like the
screw it up?
rules for that kind of
I mean,
gameplay and those kind of characters are so. I mean,
curious
you're
to
not
say.
if you're not looking for redemption.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
cares?
That's
probably
not what
a little over
I don't
100
think what
episodes
Caleb
left to
is. Like,
find
I think
out.
he wishes that he could make he wishes that he could make things right as small a chance that is, but the desire to land
Literally,
it
there's
is
like
there.
400
He's a villain only in
hours.
his head, which is the hardest place to,
At
which is really the hardest
Before I
fight of all
possibly
for a
find
character
out
like
if
that, is to
Caleb
get that out of you.
My desire to
I
land
mean, he
you
could get
is
there
Bam.
sooner than later.
Guys,
Son, you just won.
Are we doing fan art?
Let's give out some free shit.
Right? Fan art, right?
in a minute.
Oh, I thought the same thing. The way Brian was
get
talking,
there.
I thought we were about
Just hiding in the palm
me
of
and
her
Liam on
hand.
the same page. All right, guys, we got to give some more fan art. That's what
Thanks
I
for
thought.
following me along that bunny trail. I wanted to explore that.
I
Kyle
dug
with
it.
an N, who we got to meet at Gen Con. Niall.
Is that a kiln?
It's Niall.
Niall.
It's
Niall.
Kyle with an N. It's Niall.
Ryan.
Yep. Are you worried about the party's relationship
Kyle
with
with
the gentleman
an N.
after Jester's questions
Niall.
about his identity
Gotcha.
and affiliation with the Ruby of the Sea? Do you think the Mighty Nine is in any sort of danger?
Could be.
I think
Definitely
so.
remember
Danny?
this before. Kyle with an N.
Okay.
At least
Now
once.
that
I hadn't even thought about it.
That is something that he clearly wanted to stay buried, and this is gonna be some shit.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
thought.
worried for you
Employed
guys.
your kin, man.
Yeah.
I am very worried.
And now we're
What do you
pushing
think
it
Ophelia
by
is
sending
gonna feel
another
about
one
all
like,
that?
yo,
I
it's
don't
me.
think
Talk to me.
Ophelia's
And he's like,
actually into the
preposterous.
gentleman.
You
I don't know.
think so?
I don't think. I don't. I
Time will
think
tell.
that I think she's like playing that game because it gets her what she wants. I don't think she actually is into it.
Yeah.
It could go anywhere. It could go anywhere.
There's
even
so
thought
many
about it.
options.
Yeah. Chief, let's go back to Danny Cam for a second.
Danny,
Danny's new
a
show
lot to say
premiering
there.
on
I
Critical
like
Role
it.
Network, Between Two Ladders.
oh my God, yeah, look in the background. I didn't even
the
notice.
greatest
I
aesthetic.
thought the left was a
Did you
wall.
guys just see a
I saw the
ghost?
ladder to the right, but I
Why are you
didn't.
guys tripping out over there?
Caught a flash.
Oh, you
that motherfucking fly.
Oh, there it is. Son of a bitch.
Oh, it's a fly.
Hey,
Literally just knocked
trying
into
to
that
take my shot.
dodecahedron.
Stay out of my camera.
It's Vecna. He's
Trying to
immortal.
take
She's
my
been flying
shot.
around the studio for months.
Yeah, that's true.
One hit point.
Taliesin,
Yeah.
artist someday, has always asked great questions. Why would Caduceus be more interested in the architecture of the lighthouse rather than the glorious view of the natural setting that the Wild Mother protects?
There's the fly.
I love watching
just
you
went
swipe
right
a
through.
very expensive
And
iPad at a
Williams
fly.
checked it
That
out.
made me really happy.
I stole this from Best Buy.
I mean, like, not to say that he'd seen The View, although he did see The View. But
Great show.
He saw The View.
it's a great show.
Whoopi Goldberg.
it
Brian,
was-
thank you.
That was a mystery, and that he's looking for specific things, and he is searching for some level of illumination, and that lighthouse called to him. I have no better way of putting it other than like the view was lovely, and I'm sure he could have gotten distracted, but the lighthouse was his mission, and he was very once and if he's unfocused on something like that, he's focused on it. It's very hard to distract him, and he was really. I mean, I will say he didn't get nearly as much out of the lighthouse as he wanted. If he had been invited to stay, he would have stayed longer.
Wow.
But he wanted to know more, and still wants to know more very badly.
Wow.
It's likely that the lighthouse is a physical manifestation of that God's will. So,
Well, and then there was the conversation about the Dawn, about the Dawn
yeah,
as well.
everything they said I
No,
agree with.
the,
I don't have anything to
oh
include
God, my
because
brain is entirely Swiss cheese. But yeah, that whole notion kind of came to him, and I was kind of curious
if anything,
exploring
it's
that.
also
Yeah.
because I feel like
why that
obviously
lighthouse is
it's
there,
his
what
character.
it
He explained
means.
If it was me, I would think
Dawnfather
whatever is
occasionally
right
gets
in front of me would
another
be easier
giant
to.
statue, and they get it on.
That would be hot, but
So that's something you've got to understand.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I find that on Tumblr?
I'll write it for you.
Thank you.
Look at his face.
Is
yeah.
it really? What page so I can start getting
Can
excited?
you-
actually, I wrote a whole
write
thing
it
about
for me on
I wrote
Tumblr?
a chunk of lore about the Wild Mother, completely off topic in the art book. There's
In the new art book.
In the new art book.
Our new baby.
So I've been thinking a lot about the nature of some of these gods and how they interact. So it kind of a little bit of that leaked into Caduceus at that point of
Ooh,
kind
that's
of
amazing.
what I've been writing around. So
Taliesin, an incredible writer, for those of you who don't know.
I did
I
not.
know
not
most
I
of
mean,
the
I'm
letters,
assuming
a
he
few of the
would be,
vowels.
but I did not know,
Okay.
Yep.
like firsthand.
In the years that Taliesin and I knew each other before Dungeons and Dragons, we were more work colleagues.
Yeah.
Really, we're friends now, but we were more work colleagues. And I would look at scripts that Taliesin wrote for anime dubs, and I'd be like, "Would they get fucking Baudelaire for this anime dub?
yeah,
Holy
that's
shit!
Bless you.
You did so much work you didn't need to do. It's really good."
I had a problem.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
not healthy.
We discussed some of Talison's writing on
Perfectionist a
Between the
bit.
Sheets, which airs September 17th. Liam,
Between the sheets, I still have yet to see. You
my
guys have told me
skills are
to check them
improving.
all out
Liam,
many times
rescue
over the
us
last
from that shameless plug.
months.
Tom
haven't
Tomax
seen one.
Hull.
Tomax.
Caleb was pretty annoyed with Ford and Bio's Wizard Tower shenanigans. Does he not have any curiosity about it, or just wanted the group to stay on target?
Is it
stay
Tom
on target?
Axel?
Well, I mean, a
Max
wizard's tower,
Troll.
of course, is very interesting to Caleb, but there's a couple of things you want to do before you rate it. The first is probably to ask somebody what that is. What is that? Whose is that? What's that? What is that?
That's the dreaded Tower of Go Fuck Yourself. Look at that right
Second
there.
thing is, I'm getting the finger from Ray off camera.
double fingers.
Second thing is to watch it for a few days. Third thing is wait for the sun to go down. Don't try to parkour up the side of it in broad daylight, not knowing who lives there, what it is, what to
be
do.
fair,
I-
they did ask what it was.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And they do know who lives
How
there.
much info did they get? That's Snarksis the
I agree with Liam.
Malevolent.
He's
Let's
saying
call it.
Ray's off stage. Marisha Ray is off stage
They
pointing
did one of
because
the
Bo
things he
wanted to go
suggested.
in.
Listen, everyone
And we
in this
backed
campaign
off.
and every D&D
So
campaign
Marisha's
takes
probably
turns
giving him
going,
shit
I
like,
don't know, fuck it, this is fun.
Don't you
Which is
talk
what I
about-
believe is what happened there. But like Caleb got scolded in the past for doing things on the fly, things that could endanger the group, things that didn't make sense.
He's
I know
talking
makes a lot
about
of
it.
sense.
I
I'm
love
trying
it.
to, kick
But I know
somebody
you
away
guys
off the
have
side
told
of a
me they're
magical
very-
ship in
see, I didn't
tower,
know
broad
back
daylight
then
in a town you just rolled
how
up
close
into.
of friends they are in
Ollie
real
would have
life
been all about that tower.
and how they
Just
are
saying.
kind of
Sure.
being
It's what you
that
would've
way
wanted.
intentionally.
Caleb went, that is interesting.
Now I know them
I'll
better.
see you later.
Oh yeah, no,
Come
we're
on,
coming
guys.
back.
But see, he's
We're
giving
coming
her,
back.
he's
Yeah.
giving it to her.
Yeah.
But I know
Just
it's
fun
all
to
in
hop
good
the
fun.
fence to say that you could.
I know.
She's yelling for the back.
I know it.
We know it. We know it. We know those Kentucky tricks.
We know you could hop that fence.
Look, sometimes I'll be the
see if
slapdick
that's
idiot
the
and
case.
you'll rein me in,
it goes.
and sometimes we'll
It's not
trade
even like,
hats.
oh, I'm okay with it then.
For you, motherfucker.
Let's
Burning time
so
for
let's
you.
jump up and urinate on the side of Fort Knox while we wait for our friends, because that's what you do.
This episode, stop talking about me.
Should I go and have Marisha sit here and just
Yes,
like talk
do it
about this
for like
last
5
episode
minutes,
since
please.
She wasn't able to.
Please, I want a
What
5-minute
happened? Why does it
debate.
have to be a problem? They made a fun but tactically unwise decision,
That's
and
true.
Caleb gave him the finger. Well, what's the big deal? It's D&D. This is D&D. This is what you do.
It is. It is. It
We
is.
all want a new
Friendship
carpet.
over.
We all want a new carpet. That's what this really boils down
Don't
to.
look me in
Yes.
the eye.
People want carpets. Before we go,
And that's one of those cases where
before we go
Marisha was
any
probably better
further
off
the
not
rails than we did it by
pointing the
701.
finger.
Our,
Because it would have just probably ended there.
No,
Marisha's
this-
probably
no,
like, you
no,
watch,
no, that is
stop
not
it,
our
don't go
brand.
there.
What are
And then he
reels?
went there, and
Yeah.
now she's got to fire
yeah,
back.
reels are guidelines,
and now we get
and we don't follow
entertainment.
guidelines very well. We're gonna give away some more free shit before we have to go. For fan art of the week.
Fresh shit for Fnart.
Fan art of the week. That means we're almost done. We only got probably like 10 minutes
There's
left.
Art Dad for you.
Hey.
This week's fan art winner for episode 33
Let's
was
see.
sent
Do
in
we have
by
one that'll make the
Day
top 5?
at Zomgday.
Zomgday.
I have like a
That
top
artist
5
has
in
done
my
a lot of
head.
art.
Let's see
Zomgday.
if it makes it.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my god.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Ruby. Well, look at that.
Damn.
There was a lot of debate about
I almost feel like if I put that in the top
Whether or
5,
not
that says
this,
something about me.
art
But that's a good one.
was
I'll
too
enjoy
sexy,
it.
not sexy
I
enough.
feel like that
What's
is one of the better ones I've
I don't
seen
really
of
know.
Ruby,
That's
though.
a term
Maybe
that somebody brought up in the
I've
office,
seen a
and I'm
lot
like,
of. Someone was
I
just
don't-
in the
I don't
scene.
know what that
Who just
means.
came
Handsome
in?
piece of
Someone
art.
just
That's
came
a
into
beautiful
like the
piece of
shot
art,
and then ran
and
out.
an amazing character.
I would say that's one of the better
I should
ones I've
ask
seen
Crit
of
Roll
Jester's
Stats how
Mom.
many NPCs Matt's up to
She
now
looked a lot
in
younger
this campaign.
than I
how
have
many
seen her in
we
other art. Other art, she
masked
looks like
because
she
of
She
her-
was so
more
endearing.
mature.
Yeah.
She looked young there.
Completely.
take
Thanks
it.
everyone who submitted. Congrats to you. You have won this Mahogany Dice Tower system
Mahogany.
featuring
Looks very close to the
Euphorus
cherry.
cartography by Devin
cherry?
Brew, we were just talking about earlier. This
Lot
is
lighter,
amazing.
actually,
it
now that I
has
see it up
the
close. The cherry one.
strap
similar,
of
I think.
destiny.
Is it a bear strap? What am
And
I? Oh,
every
flame
one
strap.
of them is
It's a
now
flame strap.
Flame strap. All of them
Flame
are
strap
flame
was
straps.
my nickname in college. We have this
Flame
wonderful
strap.
dice tower system. There's a dice vault in there. There's this tray, which has beautiful leather and all the wonderful things. Thank you to our friends at Wormwood. Make sure to check them out at Wormwood Gaming or Wormwood.
I feel like at this point, even though Wormwood deserves it because
Make
they make a
sure
quality product,
to
I feel
submit
like they have it
your
down
gift
so
and fan
well
art to
to make
submit
things like that.
at
They're probably making
talksmachina.com.
a
Rules for our
fortune over there.
contests are available
I understand the
on our
woods are
wonderful
expensive and
website
stuff,
at
but they probably
critroll.com.
have
I have
a
to take
manufacturing
second and give a
process.
shout out to the incredible Rachel Romero, who manages our website and everything that ends up on there and goes over. She sits there and thinks, what are the questions people are going to ask? I'm going to answer all of those that I can in this post before it even goes out. She doesn't get enough love, but she gets it from me tonight.
She's pretty great.
Don't ask for anything ever again. That's all you get, Rachel. Taliesin.
Rachel Romero. Have we seen or heard of her
It's
before? I don't recall
Soon.
that name.
It's Hoon asks. I think this is short for It's High Noon. It's Hoon asks. Deuce's chill demeanor is a wonderful addition to the composition of the Mighty Nine. Even with his biggest concerns, like the decay of his home forest, he seems strangely calm. Does he train himself to not show strong emotions like anger, sadness, and fear?
It's
Or is that
on.
just the
It's
way
so
he
on. Is that what
well,
it is?
there's
It's
not been a lot to make him
on.
angry,
It's
sad,
so
or afraid
on.
of yet. Which,
Sorry,
to be fair,
I just got
is
lost in the
part
name.
of an interesting conversation. He is very even keel. He is a believer in even keel. He's also. It's not that he's showing emotion. It's just that he's having an awful lot of. He has a lot of very quiet and very personal delight. He's a big fan of quiet and personal delight. He is happy to sit and just feel a feeling, and not necessarily do anything beyond that. He is not a character. He's
mean,
not
if
a
you're
creature of
alone
heavy
your whole
desire.
life-
He doesn't have a lot of things he wants,
Makes sense.
and so he's not missing a lot.
Interesting. Yeah.
He's.
Does he have a bucket list?
He wouldn't know what a
What
bucket
that
list
I was gonna say.
Well, that's a term that's in our world.
Yeah, but what
like,
would a bucket list even
attempting to
entail?
explain a series of things that you would want to do before you
That's
die
it.
would
That-
be
I
to him,
totally
like,
get the
that's
mindset of
strange.
him.
Like he would definitely
Yeah.
be like he would
Like go
it's
on a
never
roller
occurred to him
coaster.
to
What's a roller coaster?
if something hadn't gone wrong in his home, he probably would have never left it.
Wow.
Like he's very much a hobbit in that way, except a little less afraid of the outside world and more just. I'm sure it's
I don't
great.
think he knows
But I'm
enough
here.
to have a
Never
bucket
seen a
list. I
traveling
think that's what
companion
Caduceus is
speared to
saying.
the chest.
Or Taliesin.
No, but he's been living in a haunted forest his whole life. He has had to deal with wild animal attacks. He's had criminals try and rob the shrine. I mean, he has seen violence. He is very comfortable with the nature of violence. Violence is very natural. He kind of pointed that out as one of his big things. Is like violence is. If we wiped all people off the earth, violence would still be here.
Right.
Yeah.
In a National Geographic sense.
Yeah, in a National
Exactly.
Geographic sense, and he's okay with his place in that.
I was
But
gonna say,
think
like, bugs
I'm really
and
excited
nature.
to see what happens if he gets angry or
Animals,
afraid or
killing off predators.
or is put in a place of real peril for himself or his companions. I don't know how he'll react yet. So, yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah, I would say that to say the least.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it though has to do
Liam-
with him not knowing
2 weeks ago,
there's
you
something
ran a
else out
one-shot.
there.
You're third.
Yeah.
Once he, like the ocean, once he
Violet-
starts finding
you're
this stuff
fourth?
out.
Wait,
I feel
yeah,
like
because
he'll
there was
want to
the
do more.
way back in the
Weirdness
day
Part 1 and 2,
Yep.
and the Screw Job, which was a clasp story, and now
Screw Job.
Wolves.
one. Yeah. Violet Peck sent in a great question. How was it killing Marisha, Matt, and Taliesin in the one-shot without them being there?
Well, it's something I try to do every game I run. I was entertained by the
Marisha,
fact
Matt,
that
and
nobody playing the game really picked up on it. The audience picked up right away. Also wasn't expecting Marisha's alter ego to die as disgustingly. I figured someone would throw some magic up at her or pull her down and stick a sword through her, but no. Erica Luttrell decided as her wolf to just chuck her off the side of a mausoleum, and I thought, oh, well,
I am
naturally
not
she falls on
completely
the
sure
iron wrought fence.
Yep, naturally.
What one shot they're
she
talking
just-
about, whether
exactly.
they said it or not.
And then the good
And I'm
cleric tried to
not
finish
gonna
the
try to
job
figure it out.
kindly, like putting an animal down, except he didn't finish the job, and then he walked away.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to
it didn't
understand
really
what he's
go well for
talking
that
about, and I don't
one.
want to know in case I ever watch
Ray
the
was
one
her
shot.
name.
So,
Well,
I'm gonna
I'm
just
sure
talk
she died
over
like
it
20
and
minutes
ignore
later.
him.
It's fine.
Oh, wow.
All I know is he said
Well, that
people
was a- that
died.
was a
20
great
minutes
one
later,
shot.
someone else died.
We had fun.
And the little
blanking
minis
it
and
out
all the
in my
great
mind.
TJ. Everybody was fantastic.
Man.
I spent a lot of time following in Matt's footsteps and putting together my little maps.
The maps look
It's
great.
interesting
Yeah.
they'd have
I
a
gotta start
question
working on
about a
this one.
one
So
shot
much fun.
during an episode of
do.
Talks
I
Machina.
have an idea for one, but
I feel like
think,
that's a
I don't
huge
think I'm
spoiler,
next,
and it's
so I think I got a little
unrelated.
bit of
We
time.
want Bailey to do it
Bailey's gotta
next.
do
Yeah,
hers,
Bailey's
and then-
next.
And then I think I got a really fun
Laura
idea.
Bailey's got her
so-
one shot.
That's
What do
good.
they do?
It's gonna be so
Rotation?
terrible.
When
Laura's
Taliesin
up
says he
next?
has a fun
or is it
idea,
like whoever wants to go?
it's time to get lubricated.
There are no vampires.
There are no vampires?
Not in this one.
Okay.
It's time
Yeah.
Is there
to
lubricant?
get lubricated.
Could be. Technically, yes. I mean, I'm always down for vampires.
Yeah. It's a vampire weekend.
Oh boy.
Bernie's.
That's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Stick around for Fast Times at Talks Machina After Dark High. I would like to thank my guests, Liam, Taliesin, and
Danny Cam.
uninvited guest Marisha Ray, ladies and gentlemen. Critical Role episode 34 airs
I want to
this
hear
week.
Marisha say goodbye. I heard Danny.
Until
That
then,
was Danny laughing, not Marisha.
as always, don't forget to
we
love
didn't
each
say
other.
goodbye to the Danny Cam.
And don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Stay tuned.
Oh, there's Marisha. Did Marisha intend on doing that prior to the little silly debate they had between each other, or was that her way of ending it into Alpha Talk? I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% sure that was Marisha Ray that came in the bottom of the screen and fired one of those confetti things. I also think it was Marisha that ran into the scene when they were doing fan art of the week. Maybe she was running in the scene to like playfully joke with Liam, but I saw someone running back. It also could have been Max doing something on the set, like fixing something real quick while the camera was off the main set. I don't know. All I know is people were, chiming in and doing things Max always does usually. I dig that Marisha was there, but it's almost one of those things. I said it during the episode. You're almost better off. I mean, I've seen in real life situations like that about all sorts of things. You end up telling someone like, shut up, don't go there. Like, you better not go there because I'm not there to defend myself kind of thing. And then they do it and you actually make it worse because now they're on the camera and your only ability to do anything is to shout, and now you're off camera and now you're part of the show. I dug it. I thought it was hilarious. So Liam brings back previous things that there were incidents about, questioning Caleb's judgment call or decision making, I guess, and he's firing back at Marisha now because of it. But obviously, like I said, it's being playful jabs. Back when all that happened, I didn't realize the two of them are as good of friends as they are in real life. I said this all during the show, but just in case, I'm saying it again now. Clearly, you can see here that Liam is like, I'm paying you back for last time, and Marisha's just like, I can't defend myself. And she's right. She's not there to defend herself. So he's saying his piece. And I don't blame her for screaming over and saying what she had to say. Fires the thing at the end. I thought it was a little odd that they said a question at the end about the one shot. I tried to not pay attention, and honestly, I don't even know which one shot they're talking about, and being this was 3 or 4 years ago, I'm just going to pretend they didn't talk about it. I just know they said something happened with Marisha's character dying, or Marisha Ray, something killing off all these people, but I'm assuming people get killed off all the time in one shots, so I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear it. By the time I ever see it, if I do, I won't remember, because there's probably 100 others I'm going to watch first. Plus, I still got a ton of this, and Bloodkeep, all these other shows. I wish they asked what the real people, Liam and Taliesin, thought of the whole thing with the gentleman. He asked them in the question what they felt as characters, and they both were like, well, we really don't know what to think about it. First off, Caduceus doesn't seem like he cares about anything, or even if he cares, it's not like he's gonna really ponder it or debate it. He's just gonna be like, all right, cool, that's your dad. He's not gonna have anything exciting to say, and Caleb probably is like he just said. I don't know what to think about it right now because it might not be a thing. And if it is a thing, what do we do? Where do we go from there? Is it going to jeopardize our relationship with the gentleman because of it? But I wish he asked the real people because I want to know as people how they felt. Like we saw it for the first time. Holy shit, the gentleman could be your father. I want to know what Liam and Taliesin thought, knowing absolutely nothing and going in completely blind on that happening. But they didn't ask it. I'm cool with it. Laura should have been there. I wore my Jester shirt in honor, thinking, no way we have a Jester-centric episode without Laura Bailey. But they said she's sick. I hope she's back for the episode. I feel like for the actual episode, even though she does have a couple more days to recover from Talks Machina to the actual show, I feel like she'll just do her best, recover, and show up. I don't feel like she'll be absent for the next episode, being as they were gone for so long prior. But hey, if she's not doing good and she's feeling pretty miserable, maybe she won't show, especially having a baby to take care of. Let's find out. I'm jumping into part 1 of episode 34. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Stargate, Battlestar, the Hour Patreon exclusive. We just started Infinity Train, Steven Universe, and the new My Little Pony, Generation 5. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.